Hi guys, and welcome to Samsung Now. Samsung Now is where we look at all things Samsung, all things tech, and all things gaming, and everything in between. So if you like any or all of that, don't forget to subscribe. Now this is going to be like a bit of a news, bit of a rant, and bit of a Thursday thoughts thing. Going to try and make this pretty quick because I'm aware that some of my videos kind of go a bit on and on and on, and nobody really wants that. But the thing is that in the next few months, we're going to see a new phone from Google, a new phone from Apple, and a new phone from Samsung, the Galaxy Note that's coming out again. Now, the thing that I'm concerned about is that not only are these phones great and huge, and they've all got fancy stuff that probably none of us ever use, but the price of them. And the thing that startles me is that I thought that it would be the iPhone 8, the new one that's coming out, that would start this sort of precedent of super uber priced phones, and it's not. It's actually Samsung that's starting that with the Note. It's apparently going to be $1,100, which is ridiculous. That's setting a new precedent on pricing for phones, and you can see that the new sort of mid price is going to be £500, £600, £700, you know, or dollars, which is going to be ridiculous because phone companies make enough, those that manufacture phones make enough profit on these phones as it is, especially Apple. With the Samsung setting their new phone, the Note, $1,100, it's a guaranteed that the new iPhone's going to be $1,000 at least. And then we've got the Pixel XL2 coming out. There's no doubting that's going to probably be around $1,000 as well. So where's this going to lead us? Are we then going to be on to another sort of new pricing range for phones, that the high-end phones are all going to be above $1,000? Which is just ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. You know, I remember not a few years ago when the sort of the high-end phone market, which kind of all there was for a while, where smartphones reached the £500 mark and everyone was up in arms. And the idea really is that tech is meant to get cheaper the more it's adopted, but this seems to be the reverse. You know, we have this whole a sort of metrics of scale of production, and the more there's produced, the cheaper it gets, and that's passed on to the consumer, sort of economies of scale. But that's not been the case with mobile phones. It's just the manufacturers have got incredibly greedy, and more so. Apple being the greediest, with their sort of profit margins being massive on the phones, and it just makes you wonder where this greed is going to stop. And apparently it's not. It's getting worse. And all the time they're passing on these new sort of things they're introducing into the phones that cost them a bit more money. It means they lose a bit of profit. But they pass that cost on to us and then bump up the price of the phone to a crazy amount. And I feel that's really unfair. You know, normally, we sort of see the reverse with TVs. Here's a good example. You know, I've got this Samsung TV behind me, which I got last year's model in March this year, and it was a lot cheaper than what it was when it was first introduced. It was about a third off, at least, probably half the price of what it was when it was introduced. And I know that this TV next year is going to be cheaper still, but you know, that's really not the case with what we get with mobile phones. You know, even the new technology of TVs, like the 4K panels that have come out over the years, have got massively cheaper and cheaper due to economies of scale and the fact that people are adopting them more. More and more are being produced, and the cost comes down, and that's passed on to the consumer. But that's not the case with Google, Apple, and Samsung. They just seem to be getting really greedy. So where's this going to end for phones? Where is this going to end for phones? You know, just because the Note is the biggest phone at the moment, it's a phablet, you know, it's massive, and it's going to have a massive price. But it just, you know, it really frustrates me as to how greedy these companies are getting, where this is going to end, and they're really milking the consumer every year, knowing that there's a hardcore, a good number of people, millions and millions and millions, that will always change their phones, and every year, you know, or every 2 years at least. And they know this, and they know that the majority of people get some kind of plan with their carrier. So it makes you wonder that they're just thinking, they've all got into cahoots with one another, and it's like, well, we can all make profit if we all agree to increase the prices of our new phones. It's been 10 years since smartphones began. Let's all increase the price to this threshold. And if we all do it at the same time, the manufacturers are happy because they make more profit. Those that provide the loans with the carriers to provide the phones, so people can pay over monthly rather than one lump sum, are happier because they're loaning more money and getting more in return. The carriers are happy because they're making a profit on these phones that they're selling, and it's a bigger profit, and they get a kickback from the loans. So everyone's getting a brilliant deal except us, and that really is unfair. You would think that smartphones really should be getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper rather than trebling in price as they have done in the last 10 years. And I know fundamentally they've changed somewhat, but not dramatically. They still all do the same sort of things. It's just different ways and means of logging in, and things have got faster and a bit better, you know, in terms of screens and what have you. But overall, they still fundamentally do the same thing. So I think that's unfair. What do you think? Let me know. I want to know. It can't just be me that thinks this is ridiculous. It really can't just be me that thinks that this is ridiculous. Not me. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. I've done a few videos this week. I'll be doing the review on the Google, what's it called? The Google, I can't remember what it's called, the VR thing. Anyway, that I'll be doing a review on that very soon as my phone and Google release the app, so I can download it. Don't forget to, if you've not subscribed, to subscribe, and there's the giveaway that I'm doing, which is the Samsung Gear VR, so don't forget to look out for that as well. So as soon as we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving that away. And I'll be doing some more videos, well, certainly next week. Okay, thanks again. Lots of videos to watch, I'm sure. And I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.